Hey Calgary, it's Michael here with your September market update, and there's a lot to unpack here, so let's dive in. First off, while we've seen a rise in sales in the higher price ranges, it hasn't been quite enough to offset the slowdown in the more affordable homes. September sales hit 2003, which is 17% lower than last year's record high. But here's the kicker. They're still 16% higher than what we normally see this time of year. Now, we're starting to see more new listings come into the market, especially in that upper price range. Anne-Marie Lurie, chief economist at CREP, pointed out there's still strong demand. It's still there across all price ranges. But the lack of lower priced homes is holding back even stronger sales. The good news, more supply combined with lower lending rates should keep demand steady through the fall, just without the wild seller's market frenzy that we saw earlier this year. And with new home starts way up, hitting record numbers this year, those supply levels should continue to get a little bit more balanced. Now, new listings in September jumped to about 3,900, the highest we've seen since September 2008. With more listings and some inventory growth, we've now got just a hair over 5,000 units on the market. Now, that's still well under the 6,000 we typically expect to see in September, but this increase has definitely helped shift our market more towards balanced conditions. Right? Now, in terms of inventory, months of supply reached 2.5 months. Still favoring sellers, but definitely more of a balanced feel compared to the spring. And just as a comparison here, we typically start to consider balanced markets at about 3 to 3.5 months of inventory. Now let's talk prices. September's unadjusted benchmark price sits at just under $597, a little bit lower than last month, but still 5% higher than last year. For property types, detached homes saw nearly 9% growth, with apartment condos surging with 14% year-over-year gains. All right, let's break it down by property types. Detached home sales in the higher end, that's over 700K, grew by 9%. But the pullback in homes under 600K caused overall sales to drop 17% year over year. Now, the unadjusted benchmark price for detached homes in September is $757,000, which is 9% higher than last year. And even with that slight dip from August, the Northeast and East districts are still showing large price gains. In fact, they're leading the pack right now. Semi-detached homes had 299 new listings in September. Apparently, we just couldn't get to that 300, but it pushed the new sales to new listing ratios to 61%. Inventory levels have been rising, but with less than 400 units available, it's still tight. In fact, we're about 33% below what we normally see for September. Prices here also saw a slight dip from last month, but we're still up 9% from last year, sitting at about 678.5. Now, in row homes, we saw over 600 new listings in September, with most of those listings priced above $400,000. Sales were a little bit slower than last year at 377 units, but inventory has grown to just under 750 units, and prices remain strong at just a hair over $459,000, a solid 10% gain over last year. Now, for apartment condos, we've seen some interesting shifts. New listings jumped to 993 units, but sales dropped to 502 units, pushing the sales to new listings ratio down to 50%. Inventories grew to 1,623 units, with over 72% of them being priced over $300,000, a big jump from last year's number. Now, with more supply in the market, the months of supply has risen to 3.2, as we talked about, kind of in that balanced territory. And the benchmark price for condos is around $345,000, which is about 14% higher than last year, and a year-to-date gain of around 17%. So, what's the takeaway? Our market is shifting towards a more balanced conditions, but sellers are still holding the upper hand. Prices are up, inventory is growing, and there's more choice, especially in the higher price ranges, which is great. Unfortunately, the lower price points, we're probably going to struggle to see more inventory in that territory. Now, if you've been thinking about buying or selling, now is a great time to talk about how these changes could impact your plans. As always, if you have any questions or need more info, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone on the Michael Smith team. We're always here to help, and those 5-star reviews aren't by accident. Hope you have a great day.